What's up, world? Thank you for tuning in to the very first episode of the Dog Money Sports Show. I go by Money Marv.
And my name is Big Chubs, Big Chubs, Big Chubs.
What it do, everybody?
What up, what up, what up?
How you doing, my boy?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. Weekend was good, long. Took the kids to Disney Adventure. Ask Cameron to correct me every time if I say Disneyland. Took him to Disney Adventure for his birthday. So he had a ball. We was there 8 to 10 on that day. My feet was on fire. Like my feet still recovering right now. But yeah, man, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good, man. I finally got some rest that I needed, so I'm back in the game, ready for another week.
Absolutely, absolutely. First of all, we want to welcome you guys to the Dog Money Podcast. We're glad you're tuning in. It's going to be a great season, great couple of years. We're trying to make this to be something that lasts, you know. So we'll be giving you topics on football, basketball. We might transition into baseball a little bit later, but we're comfortable with football and basketball. So we're going to give you what we know and then expand from there if we feel that it's necessary. But I do want to go into the news. If you've been under a rock, I guess you'll say. We in July now. It's been a lot of movement in college football and in NFL. So for the college football segments, I think one big thing that I saw, and I don't know if you caught this, Marv, but USC and UCLA is now joining the Big Ten. I don't know if they're still going to be called the Big Ten, but they're joining the Big Ten. What's your thoughts on that?
Personally, I don't like it, but I think it's cool that they're keeping the rivalry now that UCLA is going over there also.
Right.
But,
I do agree.
But watching them mesh with the Big Ten, like growing up knowing the Big Ten to be what it is, I'm not going to want to see USC and UCLA over there.
Personally, I think it's weird. It's like you got West Coast teams going to play in the East Coast. Like they're the only two West Coast teams going to play East Coast. And it might be a little transition for the players itself because they are going to be traveling, 2,800 miles or something like that, right. They said. Like, that's a lot of traveling time. So,
and also think about the last 5 years. Nobody in the Pac-12 or Pac-10, whatever they call themselves, has stood a chance in the Big Ten. And I still don't think USC or UCLA will for a very long time.
Now, I will disagree with you on that with the USC aspect because of Lincoln Riley going over to USC. I think it's almost fitting for him. They were mad that he left Oklahoma, so now guess what?
Have him.
He about to be.
They can have that boy.
I forgot you, an Oklahoma Sooner.
I am.
Roll Tide, but we gonna keep it pushing. We gonna keep it pushing. As far as NFL news, if you haven't watched what's going on in the landscape, you have Deshaun Watson. He was traded to the Browns. And he has a pending suspension, so we'll see what happens with that. I don't believe that he's going to play at all this season.
He might miss the whole season, though.
You think he's going to get they pushing for at least a season. The NFL is pushing for a season. I know his team is kind of trying to push for like that 6 game, but I don't see him playing until next year. What you think?
No, we might miss out on another year of Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, so what do you think their team outlook is going to look like?
Terrible.
I mean, they do have Jacoby Brissett back there, so he's serviceable.
Who is Jacoby Brissett?
Come on, man.
In the past 3 years?
He's serviceable. He's a good, serviceable backup. You know what I mean? I mean, he ain't terrible.
Bro, I thought he retired.
I thought he retired too. So I was surprised when I was like, "Oh man, it is Jacoby. I guess it's gonna be Jacoby
but
time."
He has always been pretty solid. I'm gonna give him
absolutely. He can put up. He got to put up or shut up this year, or he's just gonna stay. Technically, he's staying in that backup role anyway. Because once you pay somebody $230 million guaranteed,
I don't care how good you are. You sit this bench.
You sit in that bench. You have Russell Wilson going to the Broncos.
Crazy.
I think that was a splashier move. You think they finally got their quarterback? You think?
Yeah. Now they got to rebuild again.
How?
I didn't like that roster in Denver last year, dog.
What?
No.
How?
When you think about the best in the AFC West, nobody talking about Denver. Now they are because they have boy out there.
Who, Russell?
Yes.
Bro,
we were not thinking about Denver before Russell got out.
Man, that defense they were a low-key sleeper, though.
It was okay.
Okay. All right, Marv. We're not going to get too...
Okay.
I'm not going to get into this with you too early
okay.
today. We going to go Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins. What you think about that?
I like it, man. He just needs to shut up.
He do need to shut up. I really hope my boy Tua come out there and toss that rock, man, because it's definitely, this is a prove it year for him. You got all the weapons that you need. You got Tyreek Hill over the top. Get him the ball. You got some guys. You got guys, and their defense has been legit for the last couple of years. Still don't care for how they did Flores, yeah. Yeah, but, I mean, that happens.
Good thing he found some work in Pittsburgh, though.
Absolutely. Shout out to Pittsburgh, but not shout out to Pittsburgh. You know what it is. Cowboys all day.
All day.
All day.
All day.
Now, as far as the other moves that we had, Khalil Mack to the Chargers.
Crazy.
When you think about that, man, Khalil Mack to the Chargers, you got Bosa and Mack coming off the edge. That's going to be scary.
They're going to tear Russell Wilson up.
That's going to be scary, bro. That's going to be scary. Like, Khalil Mack, and I know he was feeling a little bit, he wasn't really himself last year. So, if he gets back to peak Khalil Mack.
You think he still got it in him?
I think he will, because, you don't have to be double-teamed.
True.
There's only one guy in the league right now that can be doubled and triple teamed. And here I go that can handle that. And you know who it is.
What's his name?
Aaron, Mother, Donald.
Oh, yeah, we can't say the MF word.
Yeah, no.
Mom said she want to watch the show.
Yeah, I don't cuss, man. They're going to get them fake.
I'm just letting you know so you don't let it slip, bro.
It ain't going to slip.
All right, let's get it.
All right, man. But we got Devonte Adams to the Raiders. Thoughts?
Since I live in Las Vegas,
yes,
I want to see success with that.
Uh-huh.
I never really paid attention to both of them in college.
Right.
But Devonte Adams is one of the best receivers in the league. Top 3 for sure.
Absolutely.
I'll argue that with anybody.
I agree.
And Carr, wishy-washy.
No, man.
Wishy-washy.
He
got a lot of heart, though.
I think he got back to himself last year. Because of them injuries before, it kind of took away Derek Carr being Derek Carr. But with his main guy back, bro, have you seen their Instagram posts or anything? They've been like sticking together, what they say, like white on rice.
Devontae is the blackest man in the league. You got to use another expression.
Okay, I don't got it. Peanut butter and jelly? What we got? I don't got it. That's all I got for you, man. We got Matt Ryan to the Colts, who I think is going to be maybe
that might be one of the
sleeper
moves of the offseason, man.
The sleeper move of the offseason to me. Like the Colts offensive line, hands down. I don't think Matt Ryan's had this type of offensive line in his career. So to see him get behind that is going to be.
Has he had a running game that good his whole career?
Devontae Freeman was decent when he was good.
He ain't no Jonathan Taylor.
He ain't no Jonathan Taylor, though. I said he was decent.
No, sir.
But
he was solid, man.
I think the only thing.
He was solid.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the only thing really is his outside weapons, them receivers. There's a few of them that I think that can do the job. They don't really. T.Y. is not T.Y. no more. He's like over the hill T.Y. So we'll see what happens with him.
He's a vet.
But he's a vet. Almost out the league vet. So, but you got A.J. Brown to the Eagles. I'm not gonna lie. I was mad about this move.
Still upset behind it.
Still upset about this move. Like a lot of people saying they don't believe Jalen Hurts is gonna be that guy, but
it's time to show up though.
I think he will.
I
hope he don't against us, and I hope he don't. Period. But I really do hope he do. I still like Jalen Hurts.
Love Jalen Hurts.
That's because he from Alabama, but you know what I mean? And Oklahoma. So I guess it's a
he had his best years in Oklahoma.
Man, won a championship.
His biggest embarrassment was in Alabama,
but he won a championship.
Boy got replaced in the championship game.
He won the championship.
He got replaced.
He got a ring though. He got a ring though. So he got it.
Okay, so would you rather be Jalen Hurts in that situation?
Yep.
I got the ring, or without being replaced in the last 2 minutes of the game?
Did I start the game?
Did your backup won the game?
Did I start the game?
Nobody remember that.
Did I get us to the championship?
Nobody remember none of that.
Yes, they do. Because without his heroics in the game before against Georgia,
they let him walk.
Against Georgia,
they let him walk, bro.
They gotta let him walk. It's college.
Yeah, whatever.
What you think this is? They gotta let him walk, man. This is college. And then you got Carson Wentz to Washington. If I had a sound,
bum.
Carson Wentz has been trash to me since I won't even say trash. He's overrated for sure.
Yeah, after week 8.
He's overrated.
He's usually great for the first few weeks of the season.
First few weeks, bro. He is like first round pick. Man, that was I don't know. Then you got Marquis Brown to the Cardinals. I thought that was a great move. Honestly, I did think that was a great move. Marquis Brown to the Cardinals. He's going back with his quarterback from college, so that should be pretty special. And it's going to give the Cardinals an over-the-top threat where Kyler Murray can actually show his arm strength. What do you think?
I'd like to see that, man, because Kyler Murray been on skates ever since he made it to the NFL, dog.
They got to get him a better line.
We know he fast, but
they definitely got to get him a better line. Oh, I forgot to put on there too. Chandler Jones, who was a big part of the Cardinals' defense last year. He also is in Vegas here.
Oh yeah, it sure is.
So that's gonna be kind of scary too for some defenses if he show up like he can. And then other than that, you also have Amari Cooper, who went to the Browns. I'm still pissed about that.
I've accepted it.
I'm still pissed about that. You know how we do. You know how Jerry Jones and them do.
I've accepted it. I know who Jerry Jones is.
We know who what did Dennis Allen say? They are.
He is what we think he is.
Man, for real, man. And then you have Baker Mayfield to the Panthers. So that was the most recent trade, and I kind of feel like Baker Mayfield is going to go out there to try to show up. But what do you think about that trade there?
Here's my thing. He's an Oklahoma boy. I pray him the best. I wish him the best. Mm-hmm. I would like to see how him and Run CMC can put it together.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of running.
Yeah.
Keep the ball out of his hand.
Nah, he going to touch that ball 30 times a game, bro.
No, I'm talking about Baker. Oh. They're not going to allow him to be tossing that rock like that. Nah.
No. That shoulder?
Not happening. And then the last of that, you had Gronk, who just retired again.
He'll be back.
And you say he'll be back. He just recently said, and this was, I want to say
Gronk,
today.
It's time, man. We're about to go to the playoffs.
He said, I'm done with football, and I'm stepping my feet into the business world. His quotes, exactly. Okay. I'm done with football, and I'm stepping my feet into the business world.
He said that before, and he also came back.
He did.
And if the Buccaneers go back to the playoffs and he's healthy, he's going to be on that roster.
You think?
It's a possibility. If Tom call him, he coming back.
Put $1 on it.
Put a bottle on it.
Nah, I put $1 on it. Put a bottle. Nah, bro, you tripping. And then I think the biggest, one of the biggest stories too, was the Raiders hiring the first black female.
Shout out
Sandra
to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Douglas Morgan. It's a lot of chatter both ways on that end because the Raiders been in some things going on, but I really do feel like she's very qualified, and she's a Vegas native.
And she's a black woman.
And she's a black woman. She's a Vegas native, black woman, very qualified. She was a chairman for the Nevada Board of Gaming Control.
Gaming Control, yeah.
And then also a litigation attorney at MGM. So she's been in the industry and been around enough to know, like, how to move and make things happen. So I'm kind of excited to see. As a Las Vegas native, I'm not a Raiders fan.
By far.
I'm a Cowboys fan.
For life.
And I'm going to say it again, I'm a Cowboys fan.
For life.
But I'm definitely glad to see her. We're going to give her her roses, give her some claps. You know what I'm saying? Reggie's going to hit us with some claps in there.
Shout out to our engineer.
Shout out to that guy, man. He makes everything happen. But other than that, going into the main topic for today, since we don't really have much to talk about, it's preseason. Preseason is coming up starting August 4th. We'll get into that talk around August 4th time. Starting with the next couple of episodes, we're going to be dishing out some fantasy football talks just to give you guys a couple of maybe picks that you want to look at, some sleepers, give you a little bit of view on that, and also start taking your mind to the betting aspect of it and kind of getting you geared towards betting season with the season props for some of these players here. So we'll get into that starting the following weeks, so keep up with us. But today, our topic, we wanted to get it while we getting it. We're going to go ahead and discuss our top 10, because we both agree all the time that a top 10, top 5 list, whether it's NFL, NBA, boxing, anything, is very subjective. So you have your opinion, and nobody's opinion is wrong. Now, if you got a trash person in that list, now you might not be wrong, but I don't know. But we're going to start off with you, bro. What you got for your top 10 here?
All right, I got a solid top 10 here, man. Favorite football player of all time, Ray Lewis.
First of all, before you even get into it, and I'm sorry, how do you pick your top 10?
Just my favorite athletes, man. I'm picking straight dogs, people that changed the game, people that you're going to remember for a very long time, and, people that you make you want to love watching, bro, because they're always going to do something exciting, something inspirational,
So did you pick your top 10 based off of what you saw?
I've watched these players. If I haven't seen them, on live television, I'm watching highlights.
Okay, so you're a highlights kind of. So you're going to go to the Wilt Chamberlains. You're going to pull out the Deacon Joneses. You're going to give me these back in the days.
Deacon Jones is not on my top 10 list.
Even though that man was a beast.
Dog.
I modeled a lot of my game playing.
Dog.
Off of what he did. I watched a lot of game film when I played and modeled a lot of my game after him. I got in trouble a lot of games because of his hand slap. And my coach was like, keep doing it. And I kept doing it.
Don't mention his name.
But, yeah, we going to keep going. But you said your top 10, number 1, you got, and we in order. So you got to give me, it's got to be in ranked order, or else I'm going to question you for life.
Well, number 1 is Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis, okay.
Everybody else tied for second. Deion Sanders. Randy Moss. Barry Sanders. Adrian Peterson. Ed Reed. Lawrence Taylor. Michael Vick. Terrell Owens. And the GOAT Tom Brady.
Okay. It sounds like we got a couple of people that are the same. So give me your reasons, though. Why do you have Ray Lewis number 1?
First of all, that's my favorite athlete. I played linebacker as a child. I played it all the way through high school. I can't say I modeled my game like him because I was nowhere near as fast as he was, but I was a dog. Deion Sanders, pound for pound, the best cornerback we've ever seen play the game.
Okay.
He's a tandem by himself. Anywhere on the field, you have to worry about him, and he's going to travel. Where the best receiver at? Okay, I'm over here.
Absolutely. So do you think that to be qualified as, and this is only because I saw Jalen Ramsey basically requesting his flowers this week, do you think, and some of the NFL players have said that you got to be able to travel with the best players, do you think that playing a zone and being a zone type cornerback excludes you from being the best because you don't travel man to man?
I wouldn't say that, because if you really a dog, you gonna thrive in that zone.
Right.
You know, if they not throwing to you, they not throwing to you for a reason.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? They stopped throwing at Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
And they called him the greatest cornerback at the time. He was not, but he was solid.
And Richard was not fast at all. He was a technician. he was a technician and smart. Like, that man was smart. Okay, so you said prime time. Your third.
Randy Moss.
Randy Moss. Give me the Y. And you got him 3. Okay.
No, they all type of
No, you got him
bro.
3. I'm going based off of what you said. You got him 3.
They top 10. They don't need to be labeled like that. They all top
3.
second.
Okay.
Ray Lewis is number 1.
Okay, 3. So you got Randy Moss.
All right. Number 4 was Barry Sanders.
Why Barry?
Without a line, he can do anything.
Yes.
Imagine how good his career was if he had a real offensive line.
He has some decent linemen at certain times. I think his overall,
maybe like 3 games out of his whole career.
I think the whole Lions organization as a whole was just kind of
terrible.
bad. And ruined a lot of great careers.
It's hard to say that he had a great offensive line if he had to do all the.
I didn't say great.
Juking. It's hard to say he had a good offensive line if he had to do all the juking and spinning, all the other stuff he had to do just to get a yard.
But that was his
just
game.
to get a yard.
But that was his game.
A good offensive line, automatic 3 yards, automatic 5 with a running back as good as Barry Sanders. Imagine Barry Sanders in Dallas.
True. We can't do what ifs.
You right. All right, you're right.
But
imagine it.
If I imagine it, it would have been pretty dope.
Think about it. Next up is going to be Adrian Peterson.
Okay. Why? Because he's from Oklahoma, that's it?
You know what? He is from Oklahoma.
Okay.
Them boys breed athletes out there. Best running back I've seen. Honestly, I think he is better than Barry Sanders. Pound for pound. Physical aspect, speed, all that. Barry Sanders was just great.
What?
Next up is Ed Reed.
No, we not flashing by that. We not flashing by that.
Let's go back to it.
So you said
pound for pound, Adrian Peterson is the best running back I've seen run the football. And he's one of my favorites.
Okay.
Now, what's your question? Because I'll say it again. What's your question?
Just keep going, because now you done lost me today.
All right.
You done lost me today.
Ed Reed, solid safety, man. Ball hawk. He'll bring the boom when necessary.
Okay.
If you need that pick, he gonna grab it. And he's a Miami boy, too.
Okay.
Next up, we have Lawrence Taylor, the best defender ever.
Have you ever watched Lawrence Taylor play live?
Yes.
How old are you?
He retired in 93.
Okay.
Yeah, 93 he retired.
So you were like
honestly,
3?
You know what put me on to Lawrence
4?
Taylor as a kid?
Oh.
When he broke old boy's leg. Joe Theismann.
Crazy.
And it's the nastiest clip I've ever seen in my life.
Did you see that's the same exact break that Alex Smith had?
Yeah.
On the same team?
That was nasty too, bro.
That's crazy. But no, Lawrence Taylor was scary.
Yeah.
Like, no, he was scary.
He scared me in Any Given Sunday.
Like, he scared me in Any Given Sunday, bro. Like, if I was in Any Given Sunday and the homie was like, yo, you got it, boss. What you need? You need me to go make this run? You know, in Any Given Sunday, they was on. I would have been like, yo, I got you. What else you need?
You got to run the power. Give me a fullback.
Man, what you need? Because I don't have it for him. But yeah, no. Lawrence Taylor is a beast. I definitely watched a lot of game film on him. Mm-hmm. I didn't put him in my list simply because I didn't watch him. I kind of based my list off of something different.
Yeah,
but
I used to go back and watch film, man.
Hey, film
Shout
is important.
Out to YouTube for having all these film for me to watch.
Film is important, especially for the players. Film is important. Remember that. And for betting, film is important.
Next on my list will have to be Michael Vick.
Okay.
Change the game.
Game changer.
Game changer. Crazy.
So would you say Michael Vick ushered in the newer era of the quarterback?
Michael Vick
or would
paved
you say,
the way for a lot of mobile quarterbacks.
What about Doug Williams?
Was he mobile?
He was kind of mobile.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I didn't watch film on him.
I didn't really watch a lot of film, but from what I saw, he was a little.
Years. And I love him for it.
First black quarterback to win the championship.
Yeah. But was he mobile?
Now, and honestly, I don't think a lot of these cats that are in the game now goes back and watch Doug Williams. No. You gonna say,
man, these kids
Michael
now
Vick.
they talking about Michael Jordan.
We're gonna have a swear jar for you, brother.
That's the last one.
We're gonna have a swear jar. You owe $1 now. Already off top. Wait, did you say what about these new kids and Michael Jordan?
They hate on Michael Jordan. You see what John Morant said about Jordan the other day?
I don't think that's hate though.
It is hate because a lot of these kids really don't understand how good Michael Jordan was.
But I wouldn't take what he said as hate because I watched what he said. I heard how he said it. What he said was basically, I'm not finna count myself out against anybody.
You shouldn't.
And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it to you. That's how, I mean, I don't see.
He said, I'm going to cook Michael Jordan.
Hey, if you feel like you're going to cook him, you're going to cook him.
All right.
Would you not say that if you was in that position?
Cook a lot more of these present players.
Hey, he been cooking.
He been cooking.
That boy been baking, cooking.
Yeah, he been cooking.
Stirring the pot. He been flipping the
John Morant though, bro.
That boy is bad. But we in football season, so we're going to go back to your list.
All right. Oh, next up on my list, Terrell Owens. I hated him in San Francisco. Loved him in Dallas.
Hated him in Philly.
Hated him in Philly. Appreciated him in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It was nice to see him and Ocho Cinco play together, too. They couldn't quite figure it out.
Honestly, they almost both had 1,000 yards that season. I would say it was more so.
I mean, the thing.
But they also
work.
Was at the end of their careers, too.
True that.
So if they were in the prime of their careers, both of them together,
nasty would that have been?
with Carson Palmer tossing the rock at that time.
Fresh Carson, though.
Man.
Pre-injury Carson.
Coming out of USC Carson.
Dog.
Man. That would have been nice.
Didn't work out that way.
It didn't work out that way. And then, how many more you got?
Last
got one
but
more?
not least, we got the GOAT.
So did you put Tom Brady on your list just because he got 7 rings?
Yes.
And that's it?
Yes. But it's hard to bet against Tom Brady, man. It really is. Because he really is that good for some reason.
He really is that good. That's what's crazy. It's like...
I sit and watch film, bro, and he really picked defenses apart.
Like, he is really that good.
He childish, too, bro.
He childish. Real childish, man.
45 out there having fun still.
He really is that good. I think the days that I miss is the days of him and Peyton Manning being on that field together because they were the masterminds. Him, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, they were like the masterminds of quarterbacks. Like they getting that ball out their hands, doing what they need to do. But Tom Brady, so you put him on your list just because them seven things.
He really is the GOAT, bro.
He is a GOAT. So you ain't putting him number
Absolutely
1.
not.
He's just number 10 on your list.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm just glad that you admitted that he's number 10 on your list.
He's still the GOAT. Because the GOAT don't mean the greatest of all time in this generation anymore.
It don't, because the GOAT is now how people say it is. Everybody can be a GOAT.
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? Is that really a thing, though?
It shouldn't be.
Can everybody be the greatest of all time?
It shouldn't be.
Now, they can change it and say the greatest of their era, but that ain't a GOAT no more.
Yeah, but who gonna want to have that conversation?
I mean, that's an easier conversation to have than the GOAT conversation. You know what I'm saying? But Tom Brady kind of spanned eras at this point. 20 years in the game? Is he going into year 21?
I'll find out.
Or 22? Because that is crazy. And I'm not even going to lie to you. I don't know if Tom Brady cared about his kids or something. I don't think that man like his kids.
He thought about it.
I don't think he liked his kids. He was at.
I gotta play.
He was at home. He was at home during the off season, like and all he heard was them running, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy." Man, Coach, I'm back. I ain't got time for these. I ain't got time for these kids.
Practice.
Giselle was probably back there nagging them away, and he was probably like, "Nah, I'm gonna just go back to the game." The game missing me, B.
I'm just watching film with the guys.
the game need me, B. What is going? What they gonna say when I'm gone, B? Man, how many years?
Oh shoot,
20. He's 44 years old.
44 years old, bro.
And his birthday in August. That man is 44. See, you know why?
He's a Leo.
He's
a Leo.
He's a Leo.
Boy's a champion.
Hey, champion. But I'm going to go into my list real quick.
This is some good water, Chub.
This is some good water. It's real nice. And you see what's that, perspiration?
High quality A2O.
Bro, I'm done with you. Give me your top 10.
Perspiration, bro. My top 10. I tried to put him in order the best I could. I think even over time, it may change. But my list goes Emmitt Smith, number 1. 3-time Super Bowl champion. 1-time Super Bowl MVP. Rookie of the Year. NFL scoring leader in 95. He is number 2 all time in touchdowns, period. Only behind Jerry Rice.
All right.
He is number 1 with rushing touchdowns all time. And he's a Hall of Famer. Oh, let's not forget, he is the all-time leading rusher. Period. To this day. Emmitt Smith, for me, I remember my first game ever watching TV that's when I really fell in love with the Cowboys. Parents, it might have even been like a Thanksgiving or something, because the Cowboys was always on around Thanksgiving, and they was always on TV because they was America's team. First time I ever saw, and at least remember seeing football, it was when I saw Emmitt Smith touch the rock. And since then, I was like, man, that's my team. Because that boy was cold. Like, he was cold. He was a technician. He didn't have to be Barry Sanders because he did have great lines. But the man was still cold. For you to have that many touchdowns, that many rushing yards, you got to be cold.
Especially as tough as the NFL was.
As tough as it was back then, man, them boys was hitting. It wasn't about speed then. It was about power.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? My number 2, prime time. Ain't nobody care. Prime time. 2-time champion. NFL Defensive Player of the Year in 94. He has 54 interceptions.
He is also the only professional athlete to play 2 professional sports in a single day.
Single day. Not to mention, in that week of span, and I saw something, I know I posted it on our podcast, on our Instagram stories today. He had a touchdown on his kick return when he was with the Falcons, and had a home run.
Same day.
Bro, that's crazy.
Same week.
That's crazy.
Nobody's ever done that.
Nobody. Not even Bo Jackson.
Nobody ever will.
Nobody. I don't think they will ever allow players to dual sport that thing like that no more, because it's too much money invested now. So they're not going to say, hey, yeah, you can play football and basketball. Remember, Kyler Murray was trying to do that, and so was Russell Wilson.
With, Oakland A's, right?
Yep. And so was Russell Wilson when he first came out. He was trying to dual, and they said no. So, I mean, I don't think you'll ever see that again. Now, for my third player, Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis is a dog. 2-time champion, 2-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, 3-time tackle leader. He was the leader of arguably, I know I said that all kind of crazy. We'll fix it. Maybe it's the water. But he was the leader of probably the best defense of all time.
Absolutely.
And if it's not the best defense, it'll be number 2. I would say it's the best defense of all time, though. And he's a Hall of Famer. I wore number 52 because of him.
Yeah.
Really. Like, I didn't play linebacker a lot. My coaches wanted me to play linebacker, but I like my hand in the dirt playing that defensive tackle and end. So, but I still loved his game. Number 4 on my list. Would have loved to put him a little lower, but Tom Brady. I put him number 4. 7 rings.
I'm not arguing that, bro. He's on my list too.
Like 7 rings.
And he's really that good.
He is really that good. He was round 6, pick 199.
Did you see his combine footage?
Terrible. I wouldn't have picked him either. What? And he won a championship with Michigan. That's the craziest thing.
Right.
But I still wouldn't have picked him. He was slow as dirt.
What do you want to say?
Slow as molasses. Like, it was linemen running faster than him. Can you imagine him running against linemen today?
Actually, bro, linemen today are running 4 threes,
4
fours.
4 5. It's crazy.
Offensive lineman, bro. Not even
Offensive lineman. We talking about 6'8", 360-pound fellas.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy. But Tom Brady, hands down, the GOAT of quarterbacks. I don't think you can really argue that.
No, I'm not going to.
Like, if there was ever an exception to be made for the Hall of Fame to go right in, it would be him.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like, you don't even have to wait.
Keep pushing it back.
You don't even have to wait the game. The craziest thing is, like, he could have been in the Hall of Fame 5 years ago when he had 3 rings.
You think he'll get 8?
No. No. I don't think he gets 8.
Because Cowboys winning this year for sure.
I don't think he gets 8.
Nah, he not getting 8.
I don't think he gets 8. But, number 5 on my list, put my boy T.O. Hope when he put out that popcorn, that was epic. That man was as much as an entertainer as he was a baller.
So misunderstood too.
Super misunderstood. It's like all he wanted to do is go out there and ball. The Eagles should have won a championship that year. Tom Brady shouldn't have had one of those rings. I'm glad they didn't either. But I did want to see him get at least one. He could have got one with us.
Should have got one in Dallas.
We was on some bull.
Yeah.
Can't stand Jerry Jones sometimes, man.
We're not finna slander Jerry Jones on this show. But when we turn this camera off.
when we turn the camera off, man, T.O. ranked number 3 in yards receiving. 15,934.
Should have been first ballot.
Should have been first ballot. Ranked 3rd in touchdowns now. And those rankings went down because I know his yards went down to 3 because of Larry Fitzgerald recently.
Yeah. Beast.
But he was 2 and should have been first ballot. 8th amongst receptions and 5th all time in touchdowns.
Politics is crazy.
All time. How is he not a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Nobody can answer that.
And we're going to get into that Hall of Fame talk later, closer to the Hall of Fame, because I do feel what they saying now, what Deion and them is saying now, like the Hall of Fame ain't the Hall of Fame no more. It's like, when I looked at this class that we're going to discuss in a couple of weeks, I was like, yo, I can pinpoint maybe 2 guys that I would say, yo, dogs. Other than that, I'm like, what?
Who the rest of them?
Who are you? Who are you? You somebody, but who are you? Like, amongst all the people on that list, and Devin Hester should have been the first ballot Hall of Fame simply just because of kick returns, punt returns. That man, they changed rules for him.
Can I tell you something, bro? I almost put him on my top 10.
I did too, almost.
I almost put him on my top 10.
But I was like, if you pay attention now, the back end of my list, you're going to hear a little bit more how I am. I'm lineman. I'm a lineman, man. You know what I mean? So number 6 on my list is Reggie White. Reggie White was a dog. Reggie White was a dog. He was number 2 all time in sacks with 198. It's only one guy ahead of him, and that's Bruce Smith with 200. And Bruce Smith was a dog. But Reggie White was a dog. You know what I'm saying? That man has a Super Bowl ring. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Like Reggie White,
great character dude too.
The minister of defense. The minister of defense. That dude was a beast, bro. Number 7 on my list, and I feel like he's gonna be one that's gonna go up my list a little bit later on, depending on how much longer he plays. But, and you know, I'm not no Rams fan, but this might be one of my favorite players behind Emmitt Smith and Ray Lewis. And that's that boy Aaron Donald. And if y'all hear me talk about him a lot on this podcast, just know what it is. Aaron Donald is a beast.
I'm taking the plus money on Aaron Donald being mentioned on every show that we put out.
Now I'm gonna say bet $1. I'm not gonna say it every show. I'm not gonna do it. But man, the man finally got a Super Bowl ring. Just got paid. It's Friday night.
He finna kick back for the rest of his
Kicking back. No, he ain't kicking back, bro. That man is a beast. Just got that big old paycheck. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Should have been 4. Should have been 4.
Should have been 4.
Should have been 4. First team All-Pro 7 out of his 8 years. The only time he wasn't was his rookie year. Crazy. And he was a Defensive Rookie of the Year that year. This man has 98 sacks in 8 seasons. Aaron Donald gets double teamed and triple teamed almost every play.
Do you remember when he was drafted? As far as the round?
I want to say he was drafted pick 13 or something like
First
that.
round for sure.
14. Yeah, first round for sure. But it was like pick 14 or pick 13 when he was drafted. But to their defense, that draft class was pretty legit there. So I will say that. My 8th player, Larry Allen. For many of y'all that don't know, Larry Allen was a lineman for the Cowboys, number 73, big fella. He paved the way for a lot of those touchdowns that Emmitt Smith had, and that man was a dog, like coming out of a small college, dog. Do you ever remember seeing kept him clean as a whistle? Ain't that what you say? Clean as a whistle. Man, he's a dog, bro. Like have you ever seen the video of him bench pressing 700 pounds?
That's crazy.
700 pounds, bro.
I'd be scared to watch something like that.
I would be scared to watch. Bro, 700 pounds?
Nah.
It's people that ain't even squatting that. But you bench pressing 700 pounds. He bench pressing me, you, and Andrew at the same time. Pause.
Who's next on the list?
Come on, man.
Who's next on the list?
Next on my list, Ed Reed. Dog. From Miami. One-time Super Bowl champ. Defensive Player of the Year. 04. Defensive Player of the Year. Hall of Fame. 73 total interceptions in his career. And 14 total touchdowns with his playoffs and 7 in interceptions and touchdowns. Number 10 on my list, beast, Julius Peppers. Julius Peppers was an absolute dog.
I feel like we don't talk about Julius
We don't
Peppers
talk about him enough. He is number 5 all time in the sacks. All the guys before him, well, most of the guys before him were guys that played in the old days.
Right.
Besides, like your Bruce Smith and your Reggie White. But 5th all time in sacks, bro. That man was a legend for the Panthers, for the Bears, and for the Packers. Mm-hmm. Every team that he touched, he did his thing.
Producing.
Period. So, I mean, to me, that's my list. I mean, that's my personal list. I feel like that's a great list.
I got no beef with your list.
I got no beef with your list.
All right.
You know, so I might have some beef with your lists later.
You don't like the fact that I love Adrian Peterson.
You don't like the fact that I love Aaron Donald.
I like Aaron Donald.
Adrian Peterson is a dog,
bit,
though, bro. I'm not hating on the man, but you know, that's your boy.
Yeah, I rock with him.
You know, I ain't hating on the man. I ain't hating on the man. So
I wish we could have seen him in Dallas at least for one game, though.
One game.
Thought he made everything.
I'm mad that Dallas. You know what? Because you went on that subject, you just made me mad again.
Because we passed up on it, bro.
We passed up on him.
We could have gotten him a free agency.
We could have, and then most recently you got Von Miller. Von Miller is still producing, bro. Who said I would have took a pay cut to come to Dallas?
We're not about to slander Jerry Jones on camera. But when this camera go off...
So can we slander Stephen Jones?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah,
I don't know what
this.
I don't know what he doing. I don't know what he doing.
They being
but,
cheap.
Man, it's crazy.
Everybody else
like,
is buying a Super
it's
Bowl
making
ring.
me.
Why can't
It's
we?
making me mad, bro. You can buy a Super Bowl ring too. The Rams just did it. Why we can't do it?
They bought themselves 2 tickets to the Super Bowl.
Why we can't do it? 2
tickets.
The Buccaneers did it the year before. Why we can't do it? Jerry over here, he cool with us buying all this merch. We just gonna keep this money flowing.
I ain't buying no more till we get a Super Bowl ring.
You sure?
No.
Okay.
I'm buying another jersey. I need a Dak jersey.
Man, I think I need a Dak jersey too. No, I need a Parsons jersey. Yeah. That boy is a dog, and he'll be there for a while, you know. But as far as the show, you know, that's our list today. Coming up next week, we're gonna get back into the thick of things. We're gonna start talking about fantasy. We're gonna start talking about player props. So tune in with us.
I can't wait till we can start giving out picks.
When we start giving out legit picks, not these early season stuff. This is you can't really predict early season stuff as easy as you can with in season stuff. And we're gonna also stay tuned. We also gonna have a few little reels on Instagram, little things on YouTube. If you've never bet before, how to start a bankroll, how to best study for your own strategy. I wouldn't advise always just trying to pay for picks. You can do that, but you can't be mad if you lose because you can do your own research, and we can tell you how to do that too. But we got a lot in store. You got anything?
No, man, I'm just excited to get this going, man. I'm excited for the football season coming up. I'm excited for the dog money.
This podcast's been, what, like 4 years in the making? 5 years in the making?
5.
We've been, I'm not going to say we. Marv been pushing me to do this for years, and I just wasn't there. And even though we talk about sports every single day, all day, and we always talking bets, we always putting in bets, I just wasn't there. But now we got everything how we want it to flow, and I think timing is everything, you know what I mean? So we definitely, we going to turn it up. Anything before we out of here?
Nah, man, but everybody make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure you like, comment, give us feedback.
Instagram.
We talk back.
I don't think we got a TikTok yet, but we will. YouTube, if you want to actually view this, you can watch it on YouTube. We'll have it uploaded every week. Stick with us. We about to turn it up.
We got a lot coming for y'all, man.
A lot coming for y'all. All right. Be blessed.
All right, love y'all.
Thank you.
Big Chubs. Great first episode.
Absolutely.